New details are emerging about Kim Porter after 50 Cent dropped the documentary. And child, it is being alleged that Diddy had Kim Porter get down and dirty with Jada Pinkett Smith and a whole lot of other women. I mean, y'all remember that lawsuit by April Lampros, who accused Diddy of forcing himself on her multiple times, including one time when Diddy forced her to hook up with Kim Porter as he watched and got off them. Man, that's nasty. Speaking of Kim and Diddy using other women to humiliate her, apparently, Jennifer Lopez was also being used to humiliate Kim, and she was hella jealous of Kim. Anyway, in her lawsuit, April describes in detail 4 times Diddy acted like an animal towards her. The first time it happened was in 1995 after they met at a New York City bar, and April said that Diddy pressured her to drink alcohol. She apparently felt uneasy after a few sips and was later guided to a car to leave with Diddy. Then, after arriving at a hotel where she continued to feel unwell, April was on a hotel bed when Diddy forced himself on top of her and began to forcibly kiss her. She said that when she turned her head, Diddy grabbed her face and continued to kiss her. Then he undressed her, despite her attempts to tell him she felt unwell and her pleas for him to stop. Then she said that she passed out as Diddy continued to have his way. 4 months after the incident, April said Diddy sent her gifts, cards, and flowers to lure her back. And the lawsuit actually includes a photo of a card that accompanied flowers Diddy sent her for Valentine's Day. She alleged that she agreed to meet with Diddy again to discuss business opportunities and give him a second chance. However, according to the lawsuit, as they were leaving his apartment for dinner in 1995, a second incident occurred. The suit claims that while they were heading toward the parking garage, Diddy allegedly forced her to her knees, exposed himself, and coerced her into performing on him. After that encounter, April alleged that Diddy became aggressive, threatening, and controlling. She claimed he refused to accept her decision to distance herself and instead threatened physical harm and to blacklist her throughout the fashion industry if she spoke out or cut ties. Basically, April was saying that she was forced to maintain relations with Diddy or face the consequences. And in another incident, she said Diddy told her he missed her when they ran into each other at an event, and he called her for days after she refused to leave with him. She said she reluctantly agreed for Diddy to go to her apartment to hear what he had to say, and he arrived with a security guard who was sitting in the stairwell. During that interaction, April says that Diddy grabbed her and forced himself on her, kissing and touching her without her consent. She then says she fought him off enough to reach for her door and ask him to leave. Okay, before this incident, April also described a different encounter that involved Kim Porter alleging that she was at Diddy's apartment in Manhattan with Kim after they had returned from a nightclub, and Diddy told both of them to open their mouths and forced ecstasy down their throats. Then he forced them to hook up as he watched and got off from watching Kim and April. But it didn't stop there for Diddy, because after forcing the 2 ladies to hook up, April adds that Diddy proceeded to force himself on her. Now, I don't know if Kim was still there when Diddy proceeded to force himself on April, but the amount of disrespect Kim endured in her home is just insane. I mean, even the things Cola Boof recently said about Kim are beginning to make sense. Cola was talking about how Cassie let herself be flaunted in Kim's face and laughed at how Diddy was treating Kim in her own home. She even said that she will never forget the time Kim told her Diddy tried to make her lick Cassie's tampon. In addition, she talked about one time at 4 in the morning when Diddy brought Cassie, who was basically a teenager, into his bedroom where Kim was sleeping and woke up Kim and told her to get out of the bed so Cassie can get in it. As it turns out, Diddy was actually flaunting other women other than Cassie on Kim's face, including April. And this was happening for years. And then there is the situation with Jada Pinkett Smith. In Kim's alleged diary entries that were leaked, she talked about how Diddy made Jada sleep with her when she was 9 months pregnant, wife for energy harvesting. Okay, y'all, this energy harvesting tea is courtesy of one Chris Todd, a Los Angeles producer who published the book, which contains details Kim Porter saved on a flash drive and gave to friends prior to her sudden death in 2018. The book, titled Kim's Lost Words, A Journey for Justice from the Other Side, centers around Kim's alleged diary entries about her chaotic relationship with Diddy. But there's also a lot of bombshells in there about Diddy's relationship with other people, like Will and Jada Smith. However, something shocking that came up in the alleged memoir was that as Diddy's fame continued to grow, he started using dark magic and cursing people, and Kim said she didn't even know how to react to that. Allegedly, Diddy was making Kim have intercourse at 9 months pregnant with groups of people for energy harvesting and to keep his fame and fortune going. It actually says that he ran a gangbang on his pregnant wife with celebrities like Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, and many others. However, one of the most shocking claims was that as Diddy's fame grew, he became involved in dark spiritual practices, including cursing people, and Kim reportedly didn't even know how to process process what she was witnessing. According to these books, Kim was allegedly pressured into extreme situations tied to energy, power, and control, even when she was pregnant, as part of keeping Diddy's fame and fortune intact, claiming she was pushed into getting in bed involving groups of powerful people for energy harvesting and to keep his fame and fortune going. It actually says that it included celebrities like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. Baby, as much as I was reading that chapter and going like, why would Diddy do that to Kim? I also have to admit that I was not entirely shocked to read that Will and Jada are ritualists. I mean, people have always said that they find it weird how Jada talks a lot about the positive vibration of love, and she even once shared her daily spiritual routine, which involves waking up at 5:30 to do a 30-minute chant and then meditate. Also, during an appearance on the On Purpose podcast, Jay Shetty said that he felt like he had known Jada from different lifetimes, and Jada said that it was very possible. She also said that she and Jay had previously had different conversations that she wasn't comfortable speaking about just yet. Then she went ahead and talked about her ego and death and how people should embrace their shadows. Creepy as hell.
In the way in which my ego wants, but what I have learned is that the ground under my feet is that of a higher source. That's the only ground to walk on. It's the only ground.
It's the only safe ground.
It's the only safe ground. It's the only thing that one can truly rely on. And that our human interactions are for our lessons.
Yeah.
Not for reliability.
But it was not just Jada. Even J-Lo was one of these women. And Gene Deal recently revealed that Jennifer Lopez was always jealous of Kim. He spilled this when he was talking to Tisa about how Diddy always had access to Kim, regardless of whether they were together or not. So, because Diddy always kept the door open for Kim, J-Lo reportedly got jealous. And Gene even said that at one time, J-Lo tried to bribe him into telling her what was going on with Diddy and Kim. Well, we now all know what was happening. And there was even a time Gene Deal said that when Diddy was with J-Lo, he would often leave J-Lo in the house to go looking for Kim Porter.
Like, we'll put J-Lo in the house and he'll call and Kim wouldn't answer. And if she was out, he would ask the babysitter, you know, do you know where she at? Well, she said she was gonna be here because she had Kristen at the time. You know what I mean? So now we going where Kim is at. And if she was with somebody, he made it very uncomfortable for that person to be with. Using the bodyguard.
Heck, I'd be jealous if my man left me in the house to go hunting for another woman. However, what we are yet to figure out is whether J-Lo went through the same things Kim and Cassie went through. 'Cause, let's be real, guys. Given everything we've already unearthed about Diddy, do you honestly think there's a woman who escaped his wrath? Think about it. Misa Hilton was still in high school when she and Diddy started messing around. Also, Kim and Puffy started dating when Kim went to stay at Misa's house. Cassie was also still a teen when Diddy started messing with her and bringing her around Kim. And he was also going back and forth with Kim when he was dating J-Lo. And let's not forget that while he was with all these women, he also had several others on the side, and a few of them are the ones who have filed the lawsuits. So, from where I'm seated, it looks like all these women went through the same things, and Diddy was somebody who never changed his stripes, and he manipulated all these women and pitted them against each other for his benefit. Sheesh, this is probably only the beginning for Diddy. But for now, let me know what you think of the things Diddy made Kim go through. Do you think there's enough to reopen that case? Let me know in the comments section below.